Hello, I'm Granville Emerson, and welcome to another edition of Lidline Sports with my partner, Renault Pepe B. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, what be up?
NBA champions Golden State Warriors for the second time in 3 years beat LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yes, sir.
4-1. I guess that was no surprise.
I think the amount of games was a surprise. I think everybody had him either 6 or 7. Either way, whoever you wanted to or who you thought would win would be winning in 6 or 7, for the most part.
Yeah, I blame it all on Tyronn Lue. Really. I mean, think about it. Last year, they were in a similar situation, down 3-1.
Right.
Right? Okay, arguably they should have won game 3.
Okay.
Right. In Cleveland.
Yes.
But they folded. They choked, whatever you want to call it. When allowed Golden State to score the last 11 points.
Correct.
An 11-0 run to win the game when they were up 7.
Yes.
So, aside from that, I thought that Tyronn Lue, come on, man, he didn't make any adjustments. None. And my whole thing is, it's the Golden State Warriors. Why do you think you can beat the Golden State Warriors at their game?
Yeah, that baffled me because every time he was interviewed by Doris Burke, he always said that they wanted to play faster. They want to play faster. They want to play faster, but not in a hurry. That might not be a good thing against Golden State, as it proved to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're just playing right into their hands. I mean, I think he must have. Sometimes you get paralysis by analysis.
Right.
Right? And sometimes stats don't tell the whole story. Like Cleveland in the Eastern Conference, they were a great three-point shooting team. Matter of fact, they were the best three-point shooting team in the Eastern Conference.
Right. They were the Golden State Warriors of the East, basically.
Right. But they weren't the Golden State Warriors.
No.
That's not how you beat the Golden State Warriors. If you look back to the San Antonio Spurs game,
right,
when Kawhi Leonard got hurt, you see how they were beating the Warriors.
Yes.
With that deliberate style of play.
Yes.
With that half-court game.
Right.
They were limiting the possessions that the Warriors had. And so that was the way, and we talked about it before, that was the way Cleveland beats the Warriors.
Yes.
If you look at it, in 2016, Pep, the average score for the Golden State Warriors was 97 points per game. Cleveland's average score was 107.4. In this year's finals, the average score per game was Golden State 122.5 to Cleveland's 102.
Yeah, you got no shot.
Come on, man.
No shot.
That's why it was 4-1, because the only time Cleveland won was when they had the miracle game in Game 4 where they scored 49 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, they had to set records to beat the team.
Right?
Basically. I mean, that whole game, they were setting records. I mean, you can't expect to do that again and again and again. It's not going to happen.
I mean, come on, Tyronn Lue. Talking about you got the hardest job in the league. You played the wrong game against the wrong opponent.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care who you got on your squad. This year, none of those dudes played that up-tempo style of game.
No.
Who played that up-tempo style of game on their squad? Nobody. Nobody. LeBron would get out on the break, and all you did really was tire LeBron out by the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, people were complaining, Stephen A. Smith, for one, saying that LeBron didn't come through in the fourth quarter. But I say this, if he didn't do what he did in the first 3 quarters, there wouldn't be no need for him to do anything in the fourth quarter because they'd have been blown out.
LeBron did much work.
Too much.
He led both teams for the second year in a row in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks.
And people are still hating on the guy. Still hating on him. I don't get it.
You know what? I pray, Pep, that I will never be in a place where hate blinds me to see the greatness in somebody else.
Exactly.
Right?
Man.
Just because you don't like them, you can't see their goodness or their greatness.
But the hate ran both ways because the Warriors took a lot of hate because they were undefeated. You know, it's like everybody coming out of the woodwork. Rasheed Wallace. Now, we ain't heard from Rasheed Wallace since he left. And now all of a sudden he's saying the Pistons could beat them. And then, of course, Magic said that, the Showtime Lakers can beat the Warriors.
Well,
what does any of that matter?
It doesn't matter, but that's just natural. That's just natural to want to defend your squad against a great squad. It's actually, that right there to me is actually endearment to me. It's like I'm endearing myself to that team by saying that my team is better than that team, showing that that is a great team because my team is great.
Okay.
And it can't be proven. That's why you say it.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're a competitor, you're never going to concede that another team is better than your team.
Okay.
Until they prove it.
Right. And which can't be done.
Which cannot be done. So.
Well, it's good for barbershop talk. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's where it belongs.
Yeah. Barbershop and on social media group chat.
Ooh, boy, you get folks fired up on that.
Well, we were fired up today. I was like, wait a minute, I got to save something for the show.
Yeah.
But, I had to put my 2 cents out there.
That's right.
We'll get back to more NBA Finals actions and action. A lot going on elsewhere in the world of sports. Former Portland Trailblazer guard Sebastian Telfair was arrested on gun charges the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, they said that him and another guy was arrested early Sunday morning after police found firearms, a semi-automatic rifle, ammunition, ballistic vest, and some weed inside the vehicle. In Brooklyn.
What were those dudes doing, man?
Man, I
He
don't
had
know.
a semi-automatic. I saw the tweet. The picture was crazy. He had a semi-automatic weapon, a few handguns, a pound of weed, and some ammo. I'm like, what are you, Sebastian? Like, what are you, like, you're in
The only thing missing was a bag of money.
I'm like, you're in Brooklyn, man. You ain't in South Carolina. I'm like, if you're in South Carolina, you can say, I need this for protection. The Klan down here and everything. But in Brooklyn, I don't even know. I don't even understand what dudes be doing nowadays. They're living like they're in the movies. Like, are you like, is it get rich or die trying? You're already rich, Sebastian.
Yeah, what's
you
up with
got
that?
money. I don't.
And what are you doing in Brooklyn? Why are you still back in the hood? Why?
Well, some people can't get delivered from the hood, Pep. You know that. Right?
I know it.
And you do. It's hard because, when you grow up, your boy's still in the hood. And if you try to say, I'm not going back to the hood, then you get ostracized from your friends, or you phony, you ain't down with us no more, or I knew you was going to get yours and forget about us.
But isn't it the goal when anybody that's living in the hood, what's the first thing they want? Good times. What do they always say in good times? We got to get out the ghetto. We want to get out the ghetto. Well, once you get out, you have to stay out. Because if you go back to visit, that could get you killed.
It can. But I'll say this. I'll say this is what needs to happen. I don't necessarily agree with if you get out, you got to stay out. I say you are correct that if you get out, you can't go back there and start hanging out with your old knucklehead friends.
Right, and that's what I mean.
If they're knuckleheads. But I think that instead of saying we need to get out the ghetto, we need to put money back in the ghetto and try to lift the ghetto up. I think that's what we need to do. Right. And hey, that's why I give a lot of props to LeBron James. That's what he's been doing in Akron, Ohio. He's been putting his money into kids and into parents that want an education and all of that. And I think that's what those who have resources they should do that. I was at a program today and I heard this quote, and I will expound on it. But basically the quote was, we were not created for ourselves. And so I'm adding to it, that's why we should spend time helping others.
Right.
Right? And so we do well to do that. And so it's only a bad deal if you make a lot of money and then allow yourself to get dragged down to want to be with still those who've never had money and are getting money or have gotten money illegally. And so that was Telfair's second time being arrested on gun charges. So,
and years ago, his cousin, Stephon Marbury, going through the hood, rolling through the hood at a stoplight, he gets his jewelry and he gets robbed. I mean, what I'm saying is stay out the hood. I'm not saying, like you said, when you're doing community work. I'm saying you can't go back there and hang out. You just can't do it. It's not smart.
It's not smart to go back there flossing, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not.
Rolling through the hood in your Maybach.
Listen, criminals know who you are. They watch ESPN and whatnot, So, I mean, you just got to be smart. You just can't be hanging out with your friends. Listen, if you want to see some of your boys, then you know what? You need to have a meeting somewhere else, or have them come see you, whatever. If you gotta bring them in or fly them in, whatever you gotta do. But please, I mean, if you don't go, your street cred is gone. Once you make it out like that, your street cred is gone. Okay, you can't get that back. It's not a disrespect. It's not. I don't mean that that your street cred is grown in terms of you got your ghetto pass, as we say. But what I'm saying is you need to stay out and be safe, because you have a lot of money and people know that. Okay, and there's an element out there that don't care who you are. I mean, you got Antoine Walker that's been robbed. I mean, Nazir Muhammad's father was killed in his own barbershop. Stuff like that happens when NBA players, NFL players make a lot of money and go back home. It's nice to go back home, but sometimes, you know what, you got to leave that alone.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite artists, Gil Scott-Heron, said it might not be such a bad idea if I never go home again.
Okay.
Staying in New York, but switching gears. Talk about using a weapon. This kid, Aaron Judge, talked about him before. We may be witnessing the birth of greatness.
Babe Ruth, too?
He might be better than Babe Ruth. This dude hit a home run the other day. The longest home run ever measured. 496 feet. You talking about hitting it out the park. That dude almost hit that joker out the city.
Yeah. Like you said, 496 feet. Now, it was the longest home run ever since ESPN started measuring records back in 2009.
It's the longest one measured.
Right. And ESPN started that in 2009. So, man, 496. Vladimir Valentin had 495. And so Giancarlo Stanton was at 495 as well. But Aaron Judge is now the king of the tape measure.
He was 4-for-4 with 2 home runs that day. A rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Leading the American League with 21 home runs.
Yes.
41 RBIs and a .344 batting average.
Hey, killing it.
That means he's a hitter and a home run hitter.
Yeah, and consequently, where are the Yankees? Back in first place of the American League East, which nobody thought they would be.
So, historically, when the Yankees have not won the home run title, so it seems like Judge is going to win it this year, maybe. Mm-hmm. The Yankees have won the World Series. They've never had a player win the home run title and they win the World Series in the same year. So that'll be interesting.
It would be. Hey, but they are called the Bronx Bombers.
Yeah. Talk about dominance. Rafael Nadal won the French Open for a record 10th time.
Wow, that's crazy. That's dominance.
That is dominance. He knows how to play on some clay.
Yes.
Roland Garros is a clay court. I remember watching Yannick Noah, who's Daddy.
Oh,
Whose
yeah.
daddy is that?
Come on, Joaquin. What's his name? Joaquin, whatever. Joakim.
Oh, Joakim.
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 What are we talking about?
Sorry, Joakim. Joakim Noah.
Yes.
He won the French Open. He's known.
Can he play tennis?
Who?
Joakim.
He probably can. There's no way you can't play tennis. There's no way you grow up and your dad's a tennis player. I mean, and I'm referencing this because I was a little kid when, well, I was not a little kid, but I was young when Joakim's dad won the French Open.
Now, I heard he could actually play some ball, too.
And it inspired me to take up playing tennis. That's how I learned how to play tennis. By him. So that's why it's good for brothers to be in all kind of different sports, you know, to
I tried it too. And I kept hitting the ball over the fence. And I mean over the fence, like the 30-foot fence.
Yeah.
So I got tired of going out there and getting that.
That was the whole deal behind Tiger Woods. He had folks out there playing golf, still playing golf, and never thought about playing golf before Tiger Woods. And so hats off to Rafael Nadal. Pittsburgh won the Stanley Cup.
4 games to 2.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup winners.
Yes, and that last game, boy, no one scored up until the last minute and a half when Pittsburgh finally broke through, and then Nashville had to pull the goalie to try and get some offense to get an extra player in there so they can try and tie it up. But Pittsburgh ended up getting an empty netter with about 14 seconds to win that game 2-0 and win the series.
Not without controversy, though.
Always is.
The referees had a hand in it.
Yeah.
They waved off a crucial goal, right?
Yes.
What is up with refereeing nowadays? Can the refs not be a factor? Can they just referee and not be involved in the outcome of the game?
Well, yesterday's game with the Warriors and Cavs didn't have much referee controversy, thank goodness. But the game, before that, exactly, is where I'm going. The game before that was full of controversy. It was a mess. I mean, they went to the monitor about 5 or 6 times and still got half of them wrong.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I was watching the game. I DVR'd the game and watched the game, and I'm like going fast forwarding through my DVR, because late at night I'm not gonna be able to just watch the whole game.
Right.
I fall asleep during the third quarter. So I'm fast forwarding through.
Oh, you mean like the East Coast?
Yes. Well, I don't. That's a whole other subject.
It sure is.
I have much respect for you all on the East Coast that have to stay up till midnight and 1 a.m. and 2 o'clock a.m. in the morning to find out the result of a game that happens on the West Coast. So that's a big reason why I'm not ever trying to live on the East Coast. but I know you've had your fair share of time in all of that.
30 years of it.
Jersey. But the referees, so the NBA, I don't even understand the NBA nowadays. The NBA, to me, is moving too much towards WWF. I mean, what's a foul? I don't even know what a foul is now in the NBA.
Apparently the players don't either.
Yeah, because you get blasted going to the rim, no call.
Yeah, like LeBron when he got knocked in the head.
You go to the basket, somebody jumps out of the way, and they get a foul.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like McCall.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I mean, clearly in Game 7, it was not Game 7. The last game of the series, Game 5. Clearly, Kevin Durant whacked LeBron upside the head when he dunked on him.
Sure did.
Should have been an and one. Clearly should have been an and one. And my problem is, these dudes are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to referee a basketball game.
Right.
When you make it to the finals, you're supposed to be the best of the best referees.
Creme de la creme.
So how are you missing obvious calls and making phantom calls?
And not getting the replays right.
Yeah, and that really grinds my gears.
Yeah.
That really grinds my gears.
How does that happen?
How do you go to the video, see it, and come out with a wrong result?
Oh, man. You got me, bro. I don't know. I do not know.
Well, Adam Silver, I want you to know that that's why people think your game is fixed. when stuff like that happens.
Yes.
Like when a referee calls 2 technicals on Draymond, and then you don't want to throw him out of the game, so you decide that, oh, no, the first technical was not on Draymond, it was on Steve Kerr.
Yep.
On Steve Kerr for what?
All he did was jump off the bench like everybody else does.
Exactly.
And the whole stat crew on the sideline said it was on Draymond.
Exactly.
So how does everybody wrong and the referee was like, I don't know.
That stuff right there blows my mind. And I don't understand. I'm like, come on, NBA. You're making it hard for me to watch the game. I mean, I just like guys carrying the ball all over the floor, guys traveling all the time.
Oh, man.
I'm like,
3 steps, 4 steps. What was it? I thought I was at a country line dance watching.
And what makes it so bad to me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is that I am a high school basketball coach.
Yes.
Both on the scholastic level with Seattle Prep and on the AU level with Friends of Who currently. These refs that ref my games get their cues from NBA refs. Constantly, I have to remind them that's an NBA rule.
Right.
That's not a high school rule.
Right.
That happens in the NBA. That should not happen on this level.
Yes.
All right? Constantly. So if the NBA refs will not ref the games properly, it is hard to get high school refs, let alone college.
College, right.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to see some bad refereeing, watch a Pac-12 game.
Oh, they were terrible.
They were terrible.
Oh,
they are terrible.
Yes.
They are the worst.
Yeah, I agree.
That I have, both in football and basketball.
Right.
They are the worst.
Ooh,
and you know, maybe, I don't know, I think the Pac-12 commissioner, maybe you need to go and sit down with DirecTV and work out a way for you to get your games on DirecTV so you can make some money. Maybe you can't pay your referees like every other conference because you're not making as much money as every other conference because you don't have a DirecTV contract. Right?
Wow.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out why their refs are so bad.
Man, hey.
In football and basketball.
Terrible.
So they must not be getting the top refs, but maybe they are because the top refs in the NBA, they make the wrong calls too.
Boy.
Come out from the replay making a wrong call.
I was freaking out. I was like, how is this possible?
I don't know.
This is the finals, right?
I know. Folks, that just grinds my gears. I want you to know. On a number of different levels. Switching to football, Seahawks OTAs have concluded, and now they are in minicamp.
Minicamp. What, next week?
It's already going on now.
Oh, okay.
What's a minicamp, though? What's the difference between an OTA and a minicamp?
Tell us.
I don't know.
Educate me, please.
The only thing that I have been able to...
They still can't wear pads, right?
There's some light pads, I think, in minicamp.
Okay.
I think it's the number of days you can wear pads in minicamp.
All right. Makes sense.
Don't quote me on that. I think it's a number of days you can wear pads.
But it sounded good.
I know. I do know this. OTAs are not mandatory.
Right.
Minicamp is mandatory.
Yes.
And so a lot of veterans like Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill and people like that did not show up for OTAs because they didn't have to.
Right.
But they're all in minicamp. Everybody is in minicamp. And so minicamp is 1 week, not even a full week, like 6 days. Well, that's, I think, because they lost a day because of their illegal hitting during the offseason. Which is generally blamed on Richard Sherman because he goes too hard all the time.
Man.
They say Richard Sherman goes harder in practice than he does in the game.
Well, you need to switch that. Man.
Well, that was me saying that. They say he goes just as hard in practice as he does in the game. But because it's practice, it seems harder.
Practice? You talking about practice?
It seems harder.
You talking about practice.
Yeah,
Not a game.
That's what they're saying.
Not a game, but practice.
Rich, come on, man. This is just practice, man. Why are you going so hard? So, so I think that's what the difference is between OTAs.
And I think Eddie Lacy has another weigh-in coming up.
No, Eddie Lacy passed his second weigh-in.
Okay.
And he was under 255 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, he's made 2 weigh-ins so far.
Is it 254 or maybe 248 or something like that? I thought it had to keep going down, like under 255 here, and then the next time you have to be like under 250 or 248 or something like that.
Could have been. Could be. All I know is he made the second weigh-in.
Okay.
Okay. I do.
That's another 55 grand.
Yeah, I do. Well, that's maybe where the 55 came in. But I do know for a fact he made the second weigh-in because I was checking. I was checking to see. I was checking to see if Big Boy was gonna make it.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man! And he hasn't found Chinatown yet. That's why. Because he loves some Chinese food.
Oh boy!
He loves Chinese food, and once he discovers Chinatown in Seattle, it's over.
And I'm not going to even mention any places. Don't go. Oh, never mind.
Well, I'm sure you would know some good places in Chinatown too.
Yeah.
So Chinatown. That's what I love about Seattle, man. Seattle has all these international districts where you can go and get whatever. I mean, like I said, Filipino food. Filipino food, Chinese food. Oh my God. Man, chicken adobo.
Oh, yes.
Whew, y'all don't know what you're missing if you ain't never lived in Seattle. We got all kinds of Chinese food. I remember when we were kids, we would get our summer check, get on the bus, get it cash, get on a bus, and go straight to Four Seasons. In Chinatown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those were the days, Pep. Those were the days. You are listening to Lidline Sports with Granville Emerson and Renault Pepe Bean.
Hey now.
When we come back, we'll talk about who's the best in the league now.
Uh-oh.
KD or LeBron.
Oh.
Welcome back to Lidline Sports with Renault Pepe Bean. I'm Granville Emerson. The raging question in social media after LeBron lost another championship.
What is he, 3-5 now?
He's 3-5 in championships, and now folks have taken his title as the best player in the league and given it to KD, Kevin Durant, all in one championship.
Wow. Oh. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
It is. So, I don't know. I'll play devil's advocate. Because you think LeBron is best player in the world?
That's a good question. You know what? They're different. KD is smooth jazz, neo soul, Iceman, whatever. And, LeBron is hard funk. He's powerful. He's strong. KD, when he scores, he's just so effortless. And it just looks so smooth. LeBron works hard, and it shows when he does his thing. Offensively, I'm going to say KD's the better offensive basketball player. Now, overall, we're talking defense, offense, passing, intangibles. I'm going to give LeBron a little edge on the intangibles, rebounding, and defense. You know what? KD really showed up defensively. So I'm not going to say that LeBron's better there, because KD really put in some work. That's why he was the MVP. To me, that was more impressive than his, high 35-plus average. It was his defense that he played. He didn't just slack off. He worked hard. And it's, when you're playing hard defense and still scoring like that, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I always say the litmus test for a great player is he able to play both sides of the ball.
Right.
If he uses up all of his energy on offense, can he still play defense? And it takes a lot of energy to get up 25 to 30 shots a game.
Yes.
There's a lot of energy expended doing that. KD was so efficient in the closeout game.
He was.
I was amazed. I heard the announcer say in the fourth quarter that KD was 14 for 18 at one point.
Right.
I'm like, this dude is woo.
And he was hitting outside contested shots. It wasn't just layups and dunks.
So the argument is now that KD is the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
One thing he did prove, there's hate going KD's way because of the way he got his chip. Okay?
Right.
Because he left OKC, of which we are glad.
Definitely.
You bums all talking all that smack to me on social media. How you like KD now?
Yes.
How you like being an OKC Thunder fan, fake Sonic
fake
fan
Sonics.
now? Man, you know when I posted the video, my story of Seattle basketball,
Right.
Rainbow.
Right.
I get all these OKC fans trying to tell me I need to forget about it. The Sonics are no more. It's the Thunder now. All this. Last year when they thought they was going to the NBA Finals, they was talking all kind of trash to me, Pep.
Mm-hmm.
Posting all kind of trash. Your organization is garbage.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. And another thing, if a triple-double does not mean anything when LeBron James gets one, it doesn't mean anything when Russell Westbrook gets one. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
How about that? You can't be on both sides of that argument either.
Nope.
If Russell Westbrook is great because he averaged a triple-double, well, LeBron is great because he averaged a triple-double in the finals.
You sure did.
Which one is greater, a finals or season?
I would say finals.
Yeah.
By far.
So miss me, you clown Oklahoma Thunder fans, of which my mom is one.
Oh, ouch. I didn't hear that one coming.
I know you did. That's my mom.
Man, that train rolled right over me.
I love her. She's an OKC Thunder. Well, I'll put it this way, Mom. I'm sorry. I apologize to my mom because she's not really a Thunder fan. She's a Kevin Durant fan.
Okay.
And so she loved Kevin Durant when he was a rookie here. I used to take her to see Kevin Durant at your favorite place, Key Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they stole our team and went to Oklahoma, OKC became her team.
Okay.
And I'm like, Mom, you can't. She's like, don't tell me who to like.
Yeah, I ain't messing with moms now.
I'm like, all right then. and so she still is an OKC fan, but not as much. It's more Durant and Golden State now. Of course, she's on that bandwagon. But KD, to me, looked like he may have announced himself as the best player in the league.
And see, here's the thing. People criticize him for moving over to Golden State. But you know what? He didn't move over and just settled in and became, he didn't defer to anyone. You know, he didn't come in and be quiet and just fit in. He didn't average 17 to 20 a game and just, blend in. That brother went to the finals and took over.
Yeah.
He said, this is why I'm here. And I'm going to show you why I'm the best. And he did. And that's why I love that. I don't have a problem with him moving to Golden State. This is the land of free agency, and he chose to go there. That's his choice. That's what Kurt Flood and others worked for. Gave up their careers to do that. So, kudos to him because he not only did it, he got it done and got it done in one season.
I posted on Facebook before the game was over. Cats are mad at Kevin Durant for leaving a team when the team he left a whole city.
A whole city.
Right? OKC left Seattle. It was the Seattle Supersonics. And they left Seattle and became the OKC Thunder. So, karma's a mother.
Right.
Your best player left you too.
That's
and
right.
went to Golden State.
How about that?
So I'm not really that mad about, and that's the way it is in today's sports. I mean, when we grew up, you weren't doing stuff like that.
Right.
You had to stay with because the reason why though, Pep, and you hit on it. The reason why is it was the way it all started out, where there was no free agency.
Right.
So you had to stay with the same team.
You had to be with the same team.
Right? So you had to stay with that team. You had to win, lose, or die with that team.
Right.
Right? So as championships were won, those teams were organic.
Yes.
There were the players that they drafted.
Right.
Okay?
They used to have territorial drafts.
Right.
You know?
Unless you were traded, right? You had the dudes you picked in the draft that went 7 rounds.
Right.
Right? So times changed. Free agency came about, and you're able to sign with other teams at the end of your contract. Unless your name is Chris Paul. Right?
Right.
Because for the life of me, I do not understand how Chris Paul was not able to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
And David Stern prohibited him from doing that.
Right.
I don't even know how the Players Association allowed that to happen like that.
Yeah.
That's a bizarre move I've ever seen.
I'm surprised that wasn't a courtroom situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm surprised as well.
I was astonished.
And so, President should have been set by that Chris Paul deal that should not even have allowed Kevin Durant to sign with Golden State.
Right.
Right? But since Adam Silver didn't do what David Stern did,
nope,
then Kevin Durant has all the right in the world to sign with whatever team he want to sign with.
Yep.
And I thought it was a punk move. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, who does that? Right?
Right.
I mean, realistically, you should have beaten the Golden State Warriors. You're up 3-1, right?
Right.
Come back next year and beat them.
Yeah.
That's my competitive
And that's
drive.
what most of,
right?
You know, the Bird and all them guys, you know, I'm not going to join the Lakers.
Right.
You know, I'm going to beat them.
Right. But since he did join the Golden State Warriors, and full disclosure, I picked, you've been listening to Lidline Sports, you know, I picked the Cavaliers in 6.
Mm-hmm.
But KD imposed his will on the series.
Yeah, he announced, like you said, he announced to the world that he's the man.
That may be his coming out party. He may go on to win. They might win.
Because look,
2 more in a row.
When he got there, who was the face of that franchise the last few years? Steph Curry. But did he go there and just like take a back seat? Oh no.
He came and took over.
He sure did, because that's who he is. And I wasn't mad when he left OKC and went to Golden State, and you know why. Because I can't stand them fake Sonics.
Right.
So any kind of knife in their back, I'll take it.
So he went to the Warriors. Curry took a back seat. His mama called him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Took the third back seat in the station wagon. You know, the seat in the way back.
Yeah.
Clay took
the rumble seat.
Yeah, he took that seat.
Right.
And Durant took over the team. So now he is on the verge of being the best player in the league. However, LeBron is not over with LeBron yet.
Oh no,
LeBron's only 32 years old.
He's only 32 and playing like. Listen, the guy was amazing. There's only been one player that has won the MVP award on a losing team. Do you know who that is?
Nope. Who's that?
That would be 1969 Jerry West of the Lakers. They lost Game 7 at home, but Jerry West was so phenomenal in that series, they gave him the MVP anyway. And, you know, if it wasn't for KD and his brilliance, you could argue that had the game gone, let's say that the series went 7 games, hypothetically, and KD was okay, but not like he was, but the Warriors still win, you could say that LeBron's still the MVP. Yeah. Because the guy was ridiculous.
He was. I mean, basically, if it's kind of like this year's MVP argument. LeBron was the most outstanding player.
Right.
In the finals. LeBron averaged 33.6 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists, becoming the first player to average a triple-double in the finals.
So how can you... Well, but, I mean, that's amazing.
That's putting in work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's putting in work. And so I posted this today. I don't understand the hate of LeBron James. I had a friend that posted that, I hate LeBron James because of when he left Cleveland to go to Miami. Not so much that he left to go to Miami, but how he did it. Huh?
Yeah, people don't like all the fuss that ESPN went through and had the little primetime decision, all that. They don't like that.
I don't see LeBron James gets a double standard.
Yes.
Right? The same stuff that they say was okay for Michael Jordan is not okay for LeBron James. Right? Matter of fact, after Jordan won his third championship, retired, took 18 months off, came back in the middle of the season because he didn't want to play a whole season.
Right.
Well rested, came back and lost. And didn't even make it to the NBA championship. Lost to Orlando.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Who got blown out by Houston.
Yep.
Right? So if that happened to LeBron, everybody would be like, I told you LeBron was a bum.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
He gets a double standard.
That's true.
Like,
people forget that about MJ.
Yeah.
Because he was wearing 45 and all that. What are you talking
what difference
about?
that make? What number he was wearing?
Miss me.
Speaking of wearing numbers. Last week we talked about the Kardashian curse.
Yes.
And Khloe Kardashian, I don't know if you heard this or not, Khloe, but Khloe came out wearing Tristan's jersey saying, ain't no such thing as the Kardashian curse. I got my man's back. Tristan had his best game.
He did. He's trying to put that curse to rest the other night. Yeah.
Tristan had his best game.
Yeah.
In what game was that? That was game 4.
Well, he had a better game the last game.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
So, he's trying to put that to rest.
Well, he put it to rest.
Still lost.
Basketball is such a team game.
Definitely.
It's such a team game like no other game, but one player can impact that game like no other game. That,
for
to
sure.
me, is what makes basketball the best sport in the world. Even though I'm in odds with myself on that whole thing because I love football. I can't wait for football.
I know. It's like
hard.
Ugh.
But the argument, KD or LeBron will rage. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happened with what happens with LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Hey, but you know what? There's a guy out there that could be better than both of them.
Who's that?
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is good, but here's my problem. My problem is the game, the way the game is played now. The game has changed so much. Mm-hmm. Like I said this before. If this was the 1990s or even pre-2010, New Orleans probably be one of the top teams in the league. But nowadays, it's all about shooting a three.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about shooting a three and that effective field goal percentage.
Right.
3 points is greater than 2 points. And so, I mean, that's why you see, like no other era, teams are up. Like, used to be, if you were up 15, the game's over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no game over because you're up 15.
No,
you could be up 25, the game's still not over.
No. Hey, Warriors did that to the Spurs, down 20-26.
Yes.
And came back and won.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Cavs themselves.
Yes.
They were down 25 at halftime.
Right. Now, there have been games where that has happened. I remember that the Lakers were down like 26 to the Sonics one time, and they came back and beat them.
Yes, I remember that.
But it happens a lot now.
Yeah, a lot.
In the NBA.
Much more so, yes.
And you know, I know growing up, you had a 15-point lead. That's a blowout.
Yeah.
Now, today, 30-something points is a blowout. And so, it's just an entirely different game. The team with the best guards usually win.
Right.
And at 7 feet, I don't know how much that dude weighs, 185.
Barely.
Kevin Durant was the best guard out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was something else.
Both him and LeBron are listed as small forwards, but they're guards.
Yeah. Yeah, they got handles like any other guard.
Yeah.
Cross you over.
Yeah.
And create their own shot.
Yeah.
Take you off the dribble.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know.
They're not 4s and 5s.
No.
So,
yeah, they don't need help.
They're playing at the top of the key. So, yeah, exactly. And so, the team with the best guards wins. This year, it was Golden State. KD, Curry had a good series. And I want to say this. After game 1, folks were all over Klay Thompson like he was a bum.
Right.
Posting all kind of nasty memes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like he was a bum.
Yeah.
But Klay had a phenomenal series, quiet as kept.
Yeah, because game 2, to me, game 2, he was actually keeping them afloat because nobody else had it going.
Yes.
But beginning of that game, or towards, the first half of that game, it was him.
Yeah.
It wasn't KD, it was him.
Yeah.
That kept them afloat.
Yeah. He had a solid series.
Right. And defensively, too. I mean, look, Kyrie is ridiculous.
Oh, okay? No doubt.
I mean,
no doubt.
But still, Klay bothered him a lot more this time than than last year.
Well, yesterday, in Game 5, he bothered him a lot.
Yeah,
especially down the stretch.
But still, Kyrie still made some incredible shots. I mean,
not down the stretch.
No, not down the stretch.
Not down the stretch. He couldn't buy a bucket down the stretch.
J.R. Smith was incredible too.
J.R. was incredible.
Korver gave them nothing.
Well, they, and when I say they, where I give the blame for Cleveland not winning, there are 3 people. I've already said Tyronn Lue.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is Kevin Love.
Right.
And I said before the series started that the series may hinge on who played the best between Kevin Durant and Kevin Love.
Mm-hmm. Well, we already got that answer.
Yeah. Well, it was not even close.
No.
Right?
I mean, Kevin Love had a game or two where he had 27 and 1.
Game 4. Everybody had a good game in Game 4.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, everybody.
Game 5, he was non-existent.
Offensively. I mean, he was getting rebounds.
He got some rebounds.
Yeah,
but he needed to score.
He definitely did.
Right?
And he didn't.
He needed to knock down a key open 3.
And he couldn't.
Meanwhile, Andre Iguodala was knocking down key open 3s.
And Duncan.
Yeah. Playing like a NBA Finals MVP.
Like he was the first time they played.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that one coming.
Well, I saw it.
No, I'm talking about at that time.
At that time.
Yeah.
But I did then too. And I'll say this. AI could always play.
Yeah. He played with the Nuggets.
He played with Philly.
Right.
Right? He always could play. So when they got him, I'm like, how'd you guys end up with AI? I mean, he was buried on a garbage team in Philly.
Right.
But he was a baller. And he's always proven to be that. Like at every step of the way.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's solid. And so for him to come out and have a real good game in Game 5, that's no surprise.
Oh, no, definitely not.
But K-Love is an all-star.
Yes. Perennial.
Right? Perennial. Kyle Korver, one of the best shooters in the league.
Nothing. If he's not hitting, he's giving you nothing else.
Man, I could imagine the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers sitting up in the luxury box going, what the hell did we get him for?
Right.
He can't make a shot.
Can't make a shot.
They might as well have had Shumpert in the game.
Oh.
At least they would have had better defense.
Yeah. He's one of my non-favorites.
See, but, well, I don't know. I thought Shumpert and JR were a big reason why they won last year.
Yeah.
Their defense.
Right.
And so if you're going to put these non-defensive dudes, that's Tyrone Lue. You're going to put these non-defensive dudes on the floor and bank on them making shots, and they don't, and you can't stop Golden State on the other end, then you're going to lose.
Lights out.
Pep, they averaged 122.5.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It's ABA all over
I was
again.
going to say the same thing. Is this the ABA? 122.5? Last year, folks, I'll say this again in case you didn't believe me. Cleveland held Golden State to 97 points a game.
Yeah.
I said last year, if they can hold them under 100 for 4 games, they would win.
Yes.
There was only one game that Golden State got slightly above 100. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Golden State Warriors are the 2017 NBA champions. Kevin Durant is the MVP.
Undisputed.
Like it or not, that's how it goes down.
That's how it goes down.
What's going down in the town, Pep?
Hey, I hear Jay-Z might be in town quite a bit coming up.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because UW basketball program signed his nephew.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that his nephew signed Nasir Carter.
Yes, sir.
Signed him, and he's going to play for the University of Washington basketball team. So Jay-Z may be sitting next to me.
I don't know.
Actually, the family, they sit down up behind the opposing team's bench. Or in that middle area between.
Okay.
So I might be able to say, hey, Beyonce.
Have you seen those memes where Beyonce's talking to somebody and Jay-Z's in the middle, all stoic, just looking straight ahead, and then she's engaged in a conversation with somebody else, and it's like, that's awkward. Is that going to be you and her?
Just there?
I don't know. But is that going to be you and her? You going to be all like, Beyonce.
I'm be hollering at Beyonce and Jay-Z just going to be looking at the game?
Yep. I can see that. If I see you on a meme.
Oh, that's funny. Welcome to Seattle now, Nasir Carter. Hope you get buckets. Hope you make that team better.
Yes.
They sure need you.
Yeah.
Hope to see you, Beyonce, and have some lemonade when you come to Seattle.
To the left, sir.
To the left. All right. All right. Thank y'all for listening. On behalf of Renaud Pepe Bean, I just can't stop laughing at that one.
That's all right.
I'm Graham Emerson. Thank you for listening to Lidline Sports. You can listen to Lidline Sports on Facebook, YouTube, and find us on Twitter at Lidline Sports. Join us again.
At RainierAvenue.world. RainierAvenueRadio.world, correct?
Yeah. RainierAvenueRadio.world. You can find us there. Stay tuned again next week for more great sports talk radio on Lidline Sports. Sports as we see it from
just below our lid.
Holla.